Guys, welcome to our channel. My name is Victor.
My name is Emily.
And we are Christian YouTubers living and studying in Ukraine. And recently we've been getting lots of questions on our Instagram, people who wants to come to Ukraine, asking questions about Ukraine. What does it take to study in Ukraine? Can I work in Ukraine? What are the salaries for jobs in Ukraine? So today in this video, we're going to be answering some frequently asked questions about Ukraine.
Okay, so if you like this video, give it a big thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, share this video. So the first question is, are there any entrance exams like IELTS when you're coming to Ukraine to study?
No, for studying in Ukraine, you don't need any exam or any entrance exam. All you need to study in Ukraine is just your O-level results, your WAEC, your NECO, or your GCE for people for undergraduate courses, people who wants to do a BSc course, and your international passport. Just your O-level results and your international passport. And for those who wants to come and do their masters here, you will need your BSc. Of course, if you want to do your master, you should have finished, you would have gotten a HND or BSc results. So
you need your transcript.
You need your transcript and your BSc or HND results.
Okay.
Also.
So I'll be answering the second question. It says, how do you get a study invitation to come and study in Ukraine? So how do you get it? For study invitation, I know that schools don't work directly with students, so they have agents. Agents are people that work directly with schools. They're already registered with these schools, so they will be assigned an agent, or you can get an agent for yourself, somebody you already know in Ukraine. So this person will be working with the school, help you get your invitation and do all your documents and all the necessary details you need to come here. The person will give you this information. So the third question is, do they speak English in Ukraine?
Yes, they speak in English. They speak English in Ukraine, but being that Ukrainian and Russian is like their first language, English being the second language, it's normal. Like when you walk on the streets, some of them do speak English, but they are shy to speak because they don't speak very well. And like in the estate where we live, we are the only blacks living in this estate. And we have many people here who have traveled and lived outside Ukraine. So we have like 70% of people here do speak in English. So getting people who speak in English largely depends on the area where you live. Like in Kyiv, some people speak English in Kyiv. Like in schools, you can get students who speak English. Maybe in church, in shopping mall, you meet different people. They speak English, but not very well. So generally in Ukraine, you can say English is the second language, so it is not very popular here yet, but you can get people who speak English. I think maybe like, let's say 45-50% of people speak, but not very good.
They're always very shy to speak, but where we stay, like Victor said, about 70% of the population speak English and they speak very fluently. So the fourth question is, can a student work in Ukraine, and what are the common jobs for students?
Officially, if you read on the internet, you can see that students are not allowed to work in Ukraine.
Exactly.
But for a student to work in Ukraine, you need to get a FOB. We call it like a business name. Like in their constitution, if you want to, you can have a business as a student. And so what many companies do is that if they want to employ you as a student, and now what they start doing is that they will help you to get a FOB, they'll help you to register a business, to have a business name here. And getting a business name here, you can get it in less than 24 hours, or at most 24 hours. And it costs, depending on the lawyer or the person helping you get the business registration document, it costs about $50 to $100. So what companies do, since a student can have a business, what they do is that they create like a contract between you and them and the company. So they are going to write in the contract, you're going to be rendering these services to us, and we're going to be paying you this amount of money, and then in return you pay a percentage, you pay tax to the government. So if the question is, can a student work in Ukraine? Sure, you can work in Ukraine, but you have to do it through this process to be legal.
Okay. What are the common jobs for students?
Here we have some, like most common jobs here for students are call centers, but for us Personally, we don't like that kind of job, but there are other jobs you can also do as a student. There are logistics companies here. There are USA logistic company. You can work in the company as a dispatcher. You can work as a customer support for the company, and also there are other companies here who need they need English speakers, native English speakers, to work on their English desk as a customer support, to be relating with their clients outside Ukraine, be responding to emails, replying emails, sending mails. And also we have English teaching jobs. That is it is very common. You can teach in, like, being that they are no longer under Russian, and English being like a priority for them. Everybody wants their children to study English. So you can easily get an English teaching job. Families here need native speakers who can teach their
and
students.
You know what I even just noticed is that they are even getting people to be nannies, people that speak English, to be nannies
to their
children.
But,
yeah.
But for that, you need to know a little
bit of
Russian
or Ukrainian
language. So, and even schools, like all the schools in Ukraine now, they teach English to their students, because now they are working more closely with America. So they want to go to America, they want to relate with Americans, so they need English. English is like, English teaching job is like hot cake. You can get like different individuals, like matured people, children who would like you to teach them English.
Exactly. So what is the average salary for a student's job in Ukraine? I'm gonna answer that. The average salary is about $700, $800, $900 for a student. But you know, I've worked in a company that students make as much as $4,000 to $5,000. That it depends on, and this is not illegal. These are dispatching jobs, and I really don't want to go into it, but these are jobs you can do, and they are very, very legal. Maybe we'll make another video concerning this kind of jobs you can do, but you can make as much, if you're really good in this kind of job, you can make as much as $4,000 to $5,000 a month. But let's just say the average salary, if you're not good, you just want to just work and just pass out time with this kind of job, you can make about $800, $900, and $1,000 in a month.
And also it depends on the company. There are companies who pay as low as $600 also, but we are talking on average. On average, you can get jobs for, like, let's say on average $700, but that is like a basic. Remember, like I said, students are not allowed to work. And if you must work, you need to get a FOB. You need to work and pay tax to the company. As a student, you are allowed to have a business, and your business can have a contract with any company that wants to employ you, that you're going to be rendering a particular service to them, and you're going to get paid, and in return you pay tax to the government. So on average, like she said, you can $700 job.
Except you are very graced and you get like big paying jobs.
And some jobs like in dispatching logistic company, if you're very good in getting load and dispatching loads, the bonuses they pay you for every successful load at the end of the month might even be more than
your salary itself.
And it's possible you can actually do two jobs in Ukraine. You can do day jobs and you can do night shift jobs.
But if you are working, if you are coming here to study, I mean to say, you have to go to school, and if you want to work at night, and then go to school during the day. So the next one is, what's the cost of accommodation for a student in Ukraine?
For a student, there are different kinds of accommodations. We have hostel accommodations and we have apartments. Now, for hostel accommodation, we have commercial hostels and we have school hostels. And for me, I prefer commercial hostel because there are no much restrictions. You have working class people there, you have students there, you have different kind of people there. And the price is depending on the hostel, the price is usually from $70 to $100. But during winter, the prices always go up because of high consumption of gas and electricity. So you can go as high in winter. You can go as high as $120, $130 per month.
Okay, what about like apartments?
Yeah, for apartments, like one room apartment, it largely depends on your location. Like
Exactly.
for us, we live in Kyiv, the capital, and also in Kyiv, the location also matters. Like where we live, the estate where we live, for 2 rooms, you can get a 2-room accommodation for $400 per month, and it also depends on the furnishing. All the apartments here are fully furnished, but it depends on the furnishing. There are some furnishings that are 3D. There are some furnishing like the gadgets in the house are top notch. So you can as well get a 2-room accommodation for like as high as 500, 600, 700. So
800, 1000, depending on the
your taste and your budget. So, but for a normal apartment where you have the basic things, the television, the wardrobe, everything you need, not like extra, you can, for 2 rooms accommodation, you can save or have like $400 for it. But for 1-room apartment, it is from $200 to $300. Like I said, also depending on the furnishing, you can get some as high as 500, 600, depending on the furnishing also.
Okay, so the next question is, are there African foods in Ukraine? Of course, yes, there are African foods in Ukraine. The store where most people in Kyiv go to buy African food is Foodisha, so you can check them online, foodisha.com, www.foodisha.com. So they sell plantain, they sell tomato, pepper, all African food, but it's just a bit more expensive than you would get it in Nigeria or any other African country. So this next question is, are there churches in Ukraine?
So we have churches in Ukraine. Ukraine is actually more of a Christian country, and we have churches like, we have Christ Embassy Church of which we attend Christ Embassy. We have Christ Embassy churches here. We have Redeemed Christian Church of God here. We have Omega Fire here. And we have Deeper Life. So we have
Catholics too.
We have Catholics also here.
So it depends on the church you're attending. So is it safe to live in Ukraine? Of course, it's safe to live in Ukraine. Ukraine is very safe. Not like what we watch on TV and all those things they say to us. It's not true at all. Ukraine is safe. I've met people Americans that live here, British people that live here, that they say Ukraine is actually underrated. Very, very underrated. Ukraine is safe. There are CCTV cameras everywhere. You can walk on the street 2 a.m., 3 a.m. I remember when I was working a job, I would close at 2 a.m. and I would still go home. I would still walk on the streets, and I can't walk at that time in my own country, Nigeria. So it's very, very safe.
Yeah, I think for us to answer that question, should I say more accurately, it largely depends on area where you live in Ukraine. Like for example, there are like 3 states in cities in Ukraine. We have the Lugansk, the Donetsk, and one other city in Ukraine, where when you hear of the issue between Ukraine and Russia, it is in those states, like those states actually they share borders with Russia, and the thing is that Russia is trying to take over that particular region. They're trying to like include it to their map, so they are fighting for those areas. So what happens in those areas does not affect any other city.
It's just like bomb blast in like
Boko
Haram issues in
just
Nigeria.
like what is happening in Bono. Even though it's escalating to other states right now, but at first it was majorly in Bono, but in Ukraine, the issue they have, Ukraine is actually very peaceful, like mostly like in Kyiv. Kyiv is very, very peaceful, but when you read on the internet, you can read that they are having issues with Russia, they are fighting war with Russia, but they have many states here in Ukraine, but it's just about 3 of the cities that this war or the fight is going on. Every other city in Ukraine is actually peaceful.
Okay, so the last question we have here is, as a student, can I pay my school fees in installments?
Yeah, I have lots of students or people who want to come to Ukraine. They ask that question. Yes, you can pay your school fees in installment depending on the school, but most of the schools here allow you to pay in installment.
Like 2 parts, I think.
But you have to pay your first year. Like for example, maybe you are doing a BSc course, a 4 years course. Your first year school fees you have to pay in full. That's what most of the
from like second year.
Then from the second year they have like 2 or 3 semesters here. You can actually pay by semester, so you can pay up to like 3 installments from the second year. You can pay in 3 installments.
Okay, so these are the frequently asked questions that we just answered, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to give it a big thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, share this video, leave your comments in the comment section. Thank you so much for watching.
And maybe they have more questions. Maybe you have some questions you want to ask. You can comment your question in the comment box.
We'll be sure to answer you, or you can send us an email. We'll leave our email in the description box, so you can also send us an email and we'll answer your question. Thank you so much for watching. Goodbye, until next time.
Bye guys.